Hello everyone, my name is Michelle, and today I will talk about teaching English through culture. I would like to give a brief explanation about why it is important to understand and to know, to be aware of the of culture when we are learning a new language. This happens because when we are learning a new language or we are teaching, we are not just teaching grammar, vocabulary, structure, tenses, etc. We are teaching and learning about a new culture. And these cultures can be have different beliefs from the ones we have. They can have different mannerisms, different ways to see the world. So when we are learning a new language, it is important to understand that because if not, we will have a cross-cultural miscommunication, and this can have not a good outcome. So now, for nowadays, I will introduce the literary text and why it is useful when we are in and why they are useful when we are teaching a new language. It is this situation is interesting because when we are teaching and we are showing a literary text, we are not just like reading new vocabulary. We are reading about the perspective of the author, and depending on the country, maybe the book will have different words, um will have different ways to talk, different ways to refer things that we know with other names, or it will even reflect the situation of the country. So they are very useful. The first activity, it is planned to be applied on elementary, and I will be using the text of La Leyenda de Cantuña. This text will help us to understand the Ecuadorian culture. So the vocabulary that maybe it is like a bit difficult for students um, could be indígena, atrio, iglesia, cantera, or diablo. And these words will be like repeating a lot of times on the text in the text. So I will now explain why it is important to identify these words. So as I said, this is an activity plan to be applied of on fifth grade. And the skills to develop here will be the vocabulary and the reading skill for the activity that I am planning to apply. First, I will provide a simplified copy of the text. There are many copies that are with pictures, just the text, but I will provide a copy that will have pictures since the grade, the level of English it will not be that and the complex or okay. Then I will show pictures to how to visualize the story, as I said, to reduce the complexity of the text. And I will apply the list of the vocabulary that I just showed. With the list, we will read first the text one or two or twice. Um, then we will identify the words in the text, and I will translate the words on the board so they have a better idea of what we are talking about or we are reading about. And Here there is an example of the flashcards, posters that I will present on the class to help them to visualize the vocabulary. For the activity, I will ask them to tell me how they will act in the situation of Cantuña when he was almost on the final day of the pact with the devil. For the second activity is also for inventory, and I will teach about teaching English speaking literature. And for this, I will use the tale of Peter Rabbit. This activity is planned to be applied in for older students. It is for 10th grade, and the skills to develop will be reading and speaking. I will provide a original copy of the tale because um, it does not have the complexity of the previous legend, so it 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 will be easy to understand for the students. Even of course, and of course there will be maybe vocabulary struggles, some a few words that maybe the students will not understand. I will explain them, um, and then I will do the next activity. The tale of the Peter Rabbit is basically in summary. It is a rabbit that does not follow the instruction of his mother. His mother warns him to stay away from a human's garden. And well, this little rabbit just avoid her warn and um, and goes to the garden. The human notice him and start chasing him. The little rabbit escapes, but he survives everything. But now I will apply the questions. Why did Peter's mother warn him about Mr. McGregor's garden? Why did Peter do when he heard Mr. McGregor coming? And what is the lesson that Peter learned at the end of the story? I will create like a little debate at the end. Um, is was Peter the rabbit correct in how he behaved, or he was wrong? And for the final activity, it is for secondary, and I will teach about the French literature. In this occasion, I will use the Little Prince, or in Principito in Spanish. It is planned to be applied in second year of high school because it is more complex, and the skills to develop will be reading, writing, and vocabulary. As this tale, this story is very extensive for one class or two classes. I will provide a little excerpt of The Little Prince. The students will be able to read, and then I will ask them to write a letter to the Little Prince to like to give him advice in his journey. And to finish the class, I will ask them. I'm sorry. And to finish the class, I will ask about friendship, imagination, and journey. That there are the key, the keywords, uh, the key meaning of this tale, of this story. I will also provide like some pictures to help them to illustrate or visualize the story that it's beautiful. And I think that's that's all. Here there are the references I used. And thank you so much for your attention.